Hello, this is Richard from Expedition Tracking. Today I'm going to show you how to log in and set up your own expeditions. First of all, go to the admin URL and log in using the credentials you've been given. There are three boxes at the top. Site admins, the only area you use this for is to change your login password. User manager, you would see all of your trackers listed here, and if you wanted to change the text labels associated with them, for example, while on an expedition, perhaps one week you wanted to call this one Group 1 instead of Group A, or whatever it may previously have been called, just click on Submit after using the Edit button there. And finally, the main area in here you are interested in is setting up your own expeditions. So if you go into an Event Manager, click on Add New Event. It brings up this area where you can fill in a lot of information about setting up your own expedition. Reality is you only need to fill in a few of these fields. So they are the event name, the start and end date and time, and the event location are the only mandatory fields, and there are a couple of optional ones such as a password and emergency mobile telephone numbers. Every other box you see, I suggest you leave that empty or don't change the options in there if you just want a basic setup, and you can learn what they all do later. So let's set up this event. Let's call this the Watford event. The password I'm going to set up to be Richard, and I'm going to set up a start date and time of Friday until Sunday the 26th. Starting at 8 o'clock in the morning and ending at midnight. Important to say that you must set this to the correct values, because the tracker pins will not appear on your map before the start date and time, and they will vanish from the map after the start date and end time. You can come back and edit this, of course, if you need to change that range. You've got three boxes here for mobile telephone numbers, which would receive an SMS in the event that someone pushes the SOS button on the tracker. You put them in the international format, so you would put 44 followed by a 7 and then the rest of your telephone number. And that would be all you need to put in there. Just click back and save event, and you'll notice you've got the Watford event. The final thing we need to do is go and add a participant in there. You'll notice it says competitors 0. Well, your users in here, which were all of your trackers, 884 was the one that we own in this case. I want to go and add that into my event. So let's go into Watford event, scroll to the very bottom and click on flag number 1, and 884 was the name of the tracker. If I click on that and then click on add, right at the very bottom there you will see this information here. Ignore all of these, they won't be applicable to the use that you're putting them to. Right, now let's go into your Events Manager, and when I click on this, this is the URL which is what you will view your trackers on, and the one that you'll share with any other people. Let me just log out of this previous event and log into this one again. So my password was Richard. Okay. And you'll see that the map has been centered on London because I didn't set an event location. So normally what you can do is go and set an event location in here, which would be something perhaps other than London. You go and set it to where you want your map centered. I'll leave that for the time being because I'll show you what else we're going to do. So your flags would normally appear on the map. If you click on participants list, you'll see here is that tracker Group 1 that was on there, and if your tracker was switched on, it would then appear on the map. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to import a route, because perhaps you want to use a fixed route that your group have planned in advance. So if I go back in and in my edit event, so I would go to edit event again, there's this button called route management, and you can import in here a GPX file which you might have created using eDFE or the OS mapping tool, for example. If you click on upload route, and then I'll click on Hertfordshire Way. After a few seconds it will appear on here. Now I want the label to appear a little bit differently on the map. I'm just going to call this the word route. I'm going to choose the colour as red. So if I now click save on that and then go into Events Manager again, if I click on the Watford event this time, you should see, there we go, that it is imported an event, and rather than my start location being centered on London, it's now centered it on wherever the start location for the route was in here, which was Royston by the looks of it. Yeah. So that's how you go in and import your own routes. You can go into here, as I said, and change the colour or change the name. The other thing you can do is manage your checkpoints. so you can add additional ones in. You can import them in if they were part of a KML file, which is another type of file we support, or you can manually add each one in. So you can click Add New Checkpoint. You can put a name, a long and a latitude. Distance isn't important. The checkpoint icons, they are not currently used. We use a standard default icon, which is the little circle here, so no need to use that particular box anymore. Okay, let's go back onto your main admin panel. So just as a recap, your user manager was where you changed the name of your trackers, your site admin was where you changed your login password, and your event manager is where you will add a new event, or you can edit your existing events. And remember, it is important, once you've created your first event, you do need to add your participants in, as was shown. And that's all there is to it. There is another video on the usage of the actual system, which you should also be shared, or you can ask us for. But other than that, hopefully that was nice and straightforward, and we look forward to you using our tracking system and enjoying it. Thank you very much.